Do you believe you could be a better provider than your parents were for you?
To my family. Right. This is how I'm going to answer that. They laid a foundation for it. I enhanced it for my own family. I picked up what they put down, but then I added to it. So if I had to say, am I better? Yeah. I'll even go back farther than that. My father wasn't a talker. My stepfather, he was. So I got both sides of that. My mother was just hard. You know what I'm saying? Her parents was probably the same. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother didn't do too much talking. She just gave instructions. My mother's mother.
Right.
My father's mother was cooler than the fan. So that's all I know. You know what I'm saying? I never met my father's father. He died before I was born. I see the difference in every generation. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody say, I want the thing like my father had, my grandfather had, relationships. Was your father or your grandfather a talker to where your mother could make decisions in the house? Your grandmother could make decisions in the house. Did your father care about her feelings? Like things like that. So when it comes to providing, I do look at that as well. And that's why I think I can come with the answer of, yeah, I'm probably a better protector and provider. I probably, you know what I'm saying? Because one, I make more money than both of them. You know what I'm saying? Well, not my father. My father made it. But for the times,
Constantly.
because he worked at at Chrysler, so he made a great deal of money. But yeah, I would say on the financial side, yeah, because my money's longer than theirs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I know on the side of emotions and things like that, I'm much more than my father and probably my grandfather was, because they ain't do too much. They gave orders.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Okay.
they don't care how you feel.
Right.
Like they gave orders. That's what it was. Yeah, you have, you might have talked to you never been in the house and your grandmother say something and your mother just be like, well, you better do what she told you to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm the head of the household.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was, I'm divorced now, but we still manage that as a team.
Right.
Versus, our parents, it might have been whatever dad say, that's it. Now if it's a decision that need to be made, if the tie need to be broke,
Right.
since I'm the one that's got to fix whatever problem going on, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I get the final say. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think in that aspect of protector and provider, me versus my father and my grandfather, yeah, I'm probably better. I'm probably better.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a hard question for me to answer because I haven't had to provide for a family.
Right.
But I can say me learning from, I never met any of my grandfathers. They weren't around.
Right.
So as a child, I didn't like my dad as a child because he was an enforcer, like you said. And he did all those things. But as I got older and became an adult, and was able to see what he was doing and what he had to do.
Right.
Like he didn't have a choice.
Right.
And he created that. So he knew once I brought these kids into this world, I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure that they're straight, whether they like it or not.
Yeah.
Y'all
everything's non-negotiable so you get out of my house.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right. So when I got older and was able to talk to him as an adult, I appreciated him that much more. And another thing that made me appreciate him even more was the simple fact that his father was never around.
Right.
So a lot of his stuff he learned from watching my grandmother.
Right.
My grandmother never got married. She raised 5 kids on her own. And she would specifically tell you she didn't want to bring a man around her kids because she wanted to raise them the way that she wanted to raise them.
Yeah.
And that's why she didn't get married.
Right.
I mean, I love her to death. She was an angel. They actually named a day after her in the city of Fulton County because she did so much for the community, for the churches and families. She got more extended family than any other person I know.
Yeah.
So he learned everything from her. So for me to hear that this man did everything he needed to do as a man,
right,
with no example from a man.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? That made me look at him completely different. So even in what he was doing, I had to learn some of the things of what I didn't want to do.
Right.
Because I saw him doing it.
Because you seen him doing it. Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so for me, I would say, like I said, it's hard for me to answer that question, but I can definitely say I think I've become a better person because of what
the example set before you.
Yeah, the example that was set before me. But to put it in test, I haven't been able to do that.
I got you.
So
that it's not saying we're not appreciative,
right?
But if we had the like pros and cons of it, like I don't think me being just like my father or even my stepfather, I don't think that way of doing things will work.
Beneficial, right?
Yeah, versus like I said, the things I took out and put in, and then made who I am today. I'm grateful for both men. Right. You know what I'm saying, and my mother. You know, but I just think when it come down to it, just on every aspect of that, I think I'm definitely better. Yeah. You know what I'm saying than them, because like I said, my father was mean, dog. Like, he was cool as hell, but when he spoke, man, he spoke once, and after that came the belt.
Action.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
lights, cameras, action.
And even my stepfather, he was a calm man until you made him damn near unlive you.
Unalive.
Yeah, or whatever the new words y'all using.
But, you don't let nothing go.
Yeah, but he was more of a, I'm gonna talk to you first. You still gonna get this strap. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna break this down, and then later on, it helped me in life. You know what I'm saying? Like I give a lot of credit to him because I know I wouldn't be who I am today without him. You know, I lost my father when I was 8. Okay. And he, picked up the mantle for that, and I am who I am today. But I know a lot of things I do now is because of him. Like I know I got the violent side from my pops. My pops wasn't playing. You know what I'm saying? My mother didn't play. So that's all the blood I got through me. That's them.
How do you feel, kind of jumping in here, how do you feel about, it's a whole thing on the internet now about men telling other men you shouldn't be a stepdad.
It's gonna sound
Have you
funny.
seen that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I 100% agree.
Okay.
Me and my kids have a great relationship.
Okay.
But it takes a certain kind of man to raise another man's children. And sometimes the circumstances got to be where there ain't no father at all, like before you got there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like either in jail for life, he dead, he don't want to have nothing to do with it. Before you can actually put your footprint down on that child. Okay. And then you got to deal with a mother who might put these restraints on you to be whatever. She gonna try to make you be this kind of father because that's what she feel is needed. But you might have a father in your life, and you like, I turned out all right with what my example set. You know what I'm saying? So I'm bringing that with me. It might clash. Right. Would I want my son to marry a woman with children? Nah. And not because, just for the reason of, I don't know if my son mentally can deal with that. Okay. You know, it's a very, very tricky thing, man. Like I've been seeing that lately a lot, and I guess living off experience that I'm like, I even told my son like 3 weeks ago, if I could do it again, man, I wouldn't have did it. Wow. And not because of nothing they did wrong or nothing like that, but it takes, like, everybody always put the financial thing on it, because you hear a lot of men say, oh, you spent this much money raising somebody else's kid, they might not appreciate it. Well, you don't go into it thinking how much money you're going to spend. Right. So that's crazy in itself. But you do good in these situations, man, when you start raising these kids and you and the mother don't make it. And now you got to decide, am I going to walk away from these kids completely? Right. Which could be detrimental to them. Or you going to still trying to, and you really don't have to be. So now you got to force yourself in ways to be part of a family that ain't even yours. Right. No more. Like, I told one of my homeboys, man, when he was talking about his old lady and she had kids, man, I told him, I said, you ain't built for that. I said, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You're not built for that. Like, you're not the kind of man that could raise another man's kid, because you're not gonna go into it as in they're all when I meet a man and he say these are her kids and they married.
Yeah,
you're in that relationship is doomed, dog.
Right from the beginning.
That relationship is doomed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll never get his kid everything he might need. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, man, I'm her kids, man. Like my son's straight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm her kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, if I could go back, man, like I said, I love my kids to death.
Right.
But they treat me the way like they came from me. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I wouldn't do it, dog. And if a man asks me that, I'm gonna look at who the man is and be like, nah, that ain't for you. Like I done told one of my homeboys that, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I think he ended up believing me, but you know, whatever happened. But
yeah,
I think he ended up was like, yeah, they had a point. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you got to look at yourself as a man. Like, what happens when that kid tell you,
you ain't my daddy.
You ain't my daddy. And you done bought everything this little bastard got.
Feeding them for the last 10 years.
And because kids got an unconditional love for their biological parents, man. Like, no matter what you do, you might look at that like, he get the trophy, I get the certificate. And I done did everything. Like, it's a lot to it, man. So I would tell a man, dog, like, nah, dog, that ain't for you. That ain't, just go out here and create your own family, man, and be okay with that, or don't do it at all. But some men ain't built for that, and some women ain't built to let go of the control over the situation, because she's been so independent so long. She had to do everything to let a man come in and be a husband, because these is husbands. We ain't
right, and a father.
Yeah, and a father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the point where a man try to discipline a kid and a woman step in. And I ain't even talking about, you know, ain't nobody should be verbally abusing no kids. It happens, you know. But if a kid little, he done raised he meet this kid at 3-4 years old, this kid wilding. Right. You know what I'm saying? And you hitting him and it ain't effective. Let me tell you this story, dog. This was basically, just work with me here. And then we gotta get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you got something to do. Me and Flex was having a conversation. He was with some dogs. You know, he was in a situation and some dogs was there. And the lady couldn't discipline these dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, she couldn't get them where they needed. So
I already know where this is going.
So one time Flex over there, right? And he put the hand of God on the dog, right?
Right.
Ever since then, though, the dog understood the difference in authority. And that's the same, and I hate to compare kids to dogs, but that's kind of what it's like.
Theory,
like,
theory.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you only been hit by your mother, it's a whole different feeling to get hit by a man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or just chastised. Like, sometimes women can say stuff, and, you know, boys, especially boys, we get bigger, and we like, man, she ain't talking about nothing.
Right.
But you got that dude that come in here that you's like, yeah, he might be about that action.
Right.
You gonna look at things a little different. If she takes that away from you, you're in the wrong house, brother. Get out of there.
Yeah.
I would definitely say it. If she's not gonna let you be what you set out to be to these kids, get out of there. You're not gonna win that situation.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win it, and you ain't doing nothing but hurting the kid anyway. So
yeah,
you're not gonna win. So if somebody asks me, man, depending on who the man is, I'm gonna tell him, man, hey man, let that go.
Yeah,
I know it feel good, bro. I know she doing all the tricks, brother.
And she cooking.
Yeah, let that go, because she ain't gonna, you know, she might not let you raise them kids the way you want to. So let that go.